What is going on, YouTubers? Jay here from Maji and Jay. Today I will be providing a tutorial on how to install the aftermarket backup camera on the Dodge Ram 1500 from 2014 up to 2017. Keep in mind that this is an OEM looking part, meaning that the camera is going to be located on the handle just like the factory handle. And this is very cool because we don't need to customize the vehicle in order to fit this. It's going to be basically a plug and play type of scenario here. So like with any project, you're going to need certain tools. First of all, you're going to need a socket of 8mm as well as the ratchet. And then you're going to need a hex bit, which is number 4, as shown in the video. This is so that you can remove a bolt located on the inner side of the tailgate. And then after completing this, you will also be removing 2 8mm bolts located on the inner side of the tailgate. So you must remove, first of all, the 2 panels, which is, again, the one that is made of plastic. And then on the inner side, you will have the second one, which is made of metal. And this way you will have access to the tailgate handle. So again, you remove those 8mm bolts and the whole assembly is going to come right off. And then here we can compare the OEM without the camera versus the aftermarket with the camera. And you guys can see that the quality looks almost factory. Now, this is very important because you want to keep that nice, looking truck as factory as possible, especially since mine is still under factory warranty. It is a brand new truck. I really don't want to put any aftermarket parts that needs customizing the vehicle in order to make it work, like cutting wires and so on and so forth. With this one here, it's going to be straightforward. And yeah, so once you remove all that, now we are ready to continue here with the wire. Now here we have the wires that came with the assembly here, and as you guys can tell, has the video input, and the other is going to be the video output so that you can connect it to your radio. And then we're going to have the 2 connections for the power. This is a very easy to install type of backup camera, as you guys can tell. Now luckily I do have the harness that came with my radio, which is an aftermarket radio as well, but it is a plug and play, as you guys know already. So all I have to do is connect the positive and the ground to that harness, and that's pretty much it. So what we do first is go ahead and insert the wire on the back side of the tailgate. Then you pull it out from a little tiny hole that the tailgate has towards the bottom side, and then you pass it along the truck chassis, and then you move it to where the spare tire is located, and then you move it on the side of the tank, and then you pass it along the chassis of the car. As a matter of fact, you will see other wires that go through the chassis, so just follow that trend until you will find a piece of plastic underneath. It's like a little covering plastic that is underneath the driver's side, and that's where you're going to drill a hole. It's going to be about 1/2 inch, okay, and so that we can pass the wire through that hole, which is going to be the video in and also for the power. Now when it comes to the power, you will notice that this backup camera ran a little bit short in order for me to go from the back side all the way to the front side where the radio is located. So I decided to purchase this extended wire that I got from my local retail store, which is Home Depot, and this is the wire that I'm going to use to run it again along the chassis and pass it along that piece that we just drilled. And this is going to be connected to the back side of the radio using the harness that I already showed you guys, and this way the camera can have power. Now on other vehicles, you might need to find a ground on the chassis, and also cut the wire for the reverse light, something that I don't recommend, especially if you are under warranty like I am right now. If you're out of warranty, then you can go ahead and proceed with this method. It works also absolutely great, but I just decided to do a little bit more work and run it all the way to the front, so that way I can plug it in on the back side of the radio. Now that we ran the wires all the way from the back to the front side of the vehicle, make sure that you pass them along that little hole that we drilled earlier. And then it's going to come right underneath the seat. Make sure that you pass them along the side and also underneath the steering wheel until you get to the back side of the radio, in which there are plenty of openings. Don't worry, guys. Also, make sure that you use some sort of silicone. In my case, I did the silicone for exterior, and it's also water resistant and weather resistant, so this is very important. And make sure that you cover up that hole that we opened before, so that way you don't have any debris or any water coming in through that hole. And then after that, make sure that you connect the ground as well as the positive on the back side of the radio with the video connectivity, which is the video in, the little yellow connector that we see right here. Make sure that everything is properly set up on there with electrical tape, that way nothing comes loose. And then after that, you're going to move to the tailgate, and you're going to do exactly the same thing. Connect the ground as well as the positive, and make sure that the harness that came with the assembly is connected to the handle, and then that way you will ensure that everything is working properly. Before you reconnect the radio back in place, make sure that you test it and that everything is working. In my case, everything is working perfectly well. And now we're going to complete here the assembly or the reassembly of the vehicle, and everything came out to be very, very cool. And this camera, guys, is only $99. Again, it came from Amazon, and as you guys can tell, it looks like factory. And this is, again, very important because we have here a brand new vehicle, and I really don't want it, to look like I have messed with it. So that's why I decided to go with this camera. And again, everything works absolutely great. You can see that the video quality coming from it is also great. And the nighttime view is very, very nice as well, even though I didn't provide any samples on here, but everything works absolutely as intended, guys. So now let's go ahead and put everything together here. And again, everything works absolutely perfect. So I'm really satisfied with this little camera. And like always, if you guys have any questions about this tutorial, or you need any troubleshooting or any information, just let me know in the comment section below. You can also send me a direct message to my email. And that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe for more, and I'll see you on my next one.